What's up guys, today's video is on the top 3 best Google Pixel phone of 2024. Through extensive research and testing, I've put together a list of options that'll meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below, which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 3, Google Pixel 7a. The 7a improves on some key areas that held the 6a back. Perhaps most importantly, you now get a 90Hz display in place of the old model's dated 60Hz unit. Yes, the bulk of the competition is at 120Hz already, but the jump from 60 to 90 is the most noticeable from a usability perspective, so maybe we can give the 7a a pass. The camera system gets a boost too. A new 64MP quad-buyer main unit replaces the basic 12.2MP one of the 6a. Those are more pixels than you'd get with a Pixel 7 50MP, even though it's a smaller sensor. Similarly, the 13MP ultra-wide is also higher if only just, than the one on the 6a and the 7, albeit with a smaller sensor. There's no AF on this one, but then it's only the 7 Pro that has an auto-focusing ultra-wide, so the 7a doesn't really lose points here against the 7. The selfie camera is another 13MP affair, that one too being nominally superior to its brethren setups. You get the same Tensor G2 chipset on the 7a that the 7 comes with. While it's somewhat underpowered compared to other high-end SoCs that the 7 is fighting against, it looks a lot better in the 7a's context. Number 2, Google Pixel 7 Pro. The design is similar to last year's 6 Pro, but refined. Google has kept the characteristic strip along the back of the phone that houses the multiple cameras. But it's now a recycled aluminum strip that blends seamlessly with the metal surround of the phone, which I think gives it an even more luxurious look. The back is still glass and the front still curves nicely at the edges. The display measures 6.7 inches and has a 120x1 for 40 pixel resolution, exactly the same as the 6 Pro. It's sharp, bright enough to easily see outside, and it's got bold, punchy colors that I found lent themselves well to vibrant YouTube videos, but still managing not to look overly saturated or unrealistic. The cameras on the Pixel 6 Pro were superb, capable of taking gorgeous images that rivaled any of the top phones around, and I'm pleased to see that Google hasn't lost its touch here. The Pixel 7 Pro's 50-megapixel main camera takes stunning photos, with beautiful dynamic range and vivid colors. It's grouped up with a dedicated 48-megapixel telephoto lens that's exclusive to the Pro, and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. The phone runs on the 2nd generation of Tensor G2, Google's homemade processor. It was a bold move for Google to create its own chip from scratch, rather than use one from the likes of Qualcomm, but in practice it makes little difference to your experience using the phone on a day-to-day basis. The Pixel 7 Pro functions like any other Android phone, and although its scores on benchmark tools aren't beating any of its rivals, it's got more than enough power to run beautifully. Number 1, Google Pixel Fold. The phone is significantly thinner than rivals, closing fully with no gap between the screens when shut. Its aluminium, glass, and stainless steel body looks and feels as premium as the high price dictates, but it weighs about 70g more than a regular large phone. The Pixel's fantastic inner 7.6 inches screen opens like a book into landscape orientation, wider than it is tall. The crease down the middle where it folds isn't generally noticeable when the screen is on, but is still visible when the display is off or in reflections. As with all folders, the hinge opens smoothly, holding the screen open at a wide variety of angles, and is rated for at least 200,000 folds. The screen has a shallow bezel around the outside, which makes for a good handle. The Pixel Fold has Google's Tensor G2 chip from its Pixel 7 series with 12GB of RAM, which is plenty for running multiple apps at a time. It feels snappy and responsive, but does get noticeably warmer in operation than rivals with more efficient Qualcomm chips. Google does not provide an expected lifespan for the battery, but it should last in excess of 500 full charge cycles with at least 80% of its original capacity. The camera on the Pixel Fold soundly beats the competition. On the back, you have a triple camera system shooting 12-megapixel photos from a main, ultra-wide, and 5x optical zoom camera, which is a first for a folding phone. Thank you for watching this video. Do like and subscribe.